I quit smoking. I was forced into that decision by life circumstances.
I am a recovering addict.
I was feeling overwhelmingly tired, unmotivated, uninterested.
Well, I have 4 girls, and we ski on the weekends, and I was finding it really hard to keep up with them.
I noticed my metabolism was starting to slow down. I was slowly gaining weight.
I was noticing my weight was increasing, and I knew I had high cholesterol.
I actually had 3 major health issues.
We decided to make the change because we really wanted to stop living off of credit cards or relying on them for larger expenses like car repairs or things that were unbudgeted throughout the year.
I have a grandson who I'm pretty fond of, and he's fond of me. He spends every other weekend with us, has his own bedroom in our house, and loves to ice fish, and he's 9 years old, and he keeps me real active. He likes to ski, likes to snowmobile, likes to go ice fishing in the winter, and I know I raised all girls in my family, and to have a young kid around that I can do those kind of things with is really enjoyable, and I know I need to stay healthy to keep up with them.
I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis maybe 5 years ago now. Was probably 30 pounds overweight at the time, and my rheumatologist told me in order to manage my disease I was going to have to, I needed to maintain my weight and maintain my activity level or remain active.
For over the years, my wife has talked to me and always wanted me to start doing something different, and that's sort of always been in the back of my head, but never really completely made me do anything different. So I really do think it was initially the HRAs, the health risk assessments that we were offered by the hospital, and making me think about it on a regular basis and keeping me accountable for it.
When I was pregnant with Nicholas, I developed gestational diabetes, and my father had diabetes, and so it was something that after having Nicholas, it was sort of creeping around at the doctors, and so we wanted to make sure that I didn't have to take the steps that my dad did, and that's really what started it. It was just trying to not become diabetic.
Okay, so I quit smoking. It's been a goal of mine for a really long time, but I think it was really for my kids that I quit smoking. I wanted to be able to keep up with them and live a long, healthy life.
Initially, it was a financial thing. Initially, it was costing us close to $500 a month to smoke. So what started out as a financial motivation became a health motivation. It got to the point to where we started to enjoy how we felt smoke-free.
My well-being story goes back a couple years. As a senior leader here at the institution, I was really beat up and worn down. We work an intense schedule here and are very active, and I chose not to make time for my own well-being. And it was at that point that I found sort of a self-intervention where I started making it a priority and making it a time.
The challenges, I found the hardest thing was making sacrifices for our children. For example, I wanted to have them take drum lessons, and after we looked at our budget, we found that it really wasn't going to be something that we could afford on a continuing basis. And so we decided to, say, buy a book and maybe do drum lessons with the kids ourselves, or find other ways online to get education for free.
Losing weight and staying on a healthy lifestyle, I like to eat. I'm in the business of making food and making food taste good. I'll add on a little bit more, butter or cream or whatever to make things taste good.
I have 2 young kids at home, so exercising after work sometimes just isn't going to happen. So at least I know I have that 10 to 15 minutes every day where I'll get my exercise.
The same reason we actually decided that we needed to do it together. We couldn't actually do it apart. It was too hard to change the foods and change lifestyle without doing it together.
When I find myself slipping away from that because I have too many meetings, That's usually when I start feeling more tired, feeling out of shape, and really that is when the key time that you really have to make the time.
I would say my wife was a great benefit in helping me keep with the program by helping with the type of foods we buy now are different than the way we used to eat. We've cut out a lot of starches, potatoes, pastas, things like that, and concentrated a lot on vegetables.
They're very supportive. They give us the tools we need, you know, to when we're ready to get active and learn how to eat right.
And, you know, for our department, I think that's huge, that we close every day for 15 minutes to go down to, you know, our gym here on site and exercise for 10 to 15 minutes. I think that's great.
Seeing there were people in my department also at the time that had been through the program, and seeing them going through the program, seeing them take advantage of the stuff that was offered was a big motivator for both of us. So I mean, I would say that yeah, that's probably what it was. We saw other people having success in it, and that kind of drew us towards it. So.
And I think it's also great that families, you know, can participate in these programs as well. Like the Long Trail Challenge, just, you know, to get the whole family involved is huge too.
So I'm a big believer of creating that culture of well-being no matter what it is for each person, but it's creating a community that supports each other in taking care of themselves. And it cuts across a lot of areas. It addresses healthcare costs and health issues of a workforce. It addresses workforce productivity. It addresses just people being in a better mood.
Things that we're doing to sustain our changes are to do things at home with the kids instead of, say, going to the movies, which is about $50 a pop. And so we just will, you know, rent a movie for a few dollars, or we'll have family game night, or go snowshoeing together, things that are free, and it also helps us bond as a family.
I know that there's other ways to do things, and there's better ways to do things that can be close enough substitutes to make the food taste good, and that's carried over to the way I've started preparing food for the hospital employees.
My confidence level is really high at this point, and I have owed that all to the exercise and the watching what I eat. I want to help other people feel that same way. So I've decided to get my personal training certificate so that I can offer some free training to some other Northfield Savings Bank employees. That's my goal.
Still logging food, still exercising regularly, and we constantly checking with each other to make sure that if we need to adjust something, because we're hitting plateaus and we want to keep excelling in what we're doing. So we actually keep trying to change things up a little bit, change different exercises, exercises, change times when we do things, just to see if it will affect that and help.
We just do fun things. We go out and, you know, hike or you know, bike or snowshoe or ski. We do all sorts of outdoor activities. I don't feel lethargic anymore.
I feel great, better than I have in 15 years probably. I'm at my goal weight. I'm continuing to run. I set goals for myself.
Awesome. I mean, yeah. We talk all the time about the fact that, you know, we just have much more energy.
The energy, I think, is the biggest thing for me. I mean, obviously losing the weight, I was realizing this last summer sometime. I actually was carrying my son from the 4th of July and realized the weight him on my back was the same weight I was carrying around all day long.
I feel empowered and about a fraction of the stress that we used to feel because we were living paycheck to paycheck.
I feel great. Yeah, I feel great. It's only been 4 months, so I haven't noticed a huge change, but it feels good to know that I'm no longer a smoker.
Where I am now in comparison to where I was then was amazing.
I feel great. I've lost weight and I've kept it off, which is big. You know, in the past when I've tried to diet, it's been a real roller coaster. You go up and down every couple of months, but so far this has been working out real good.
And it was one of the things that thinking about it a year ago or 2 years ago, I had to say there wasn't any one thing that kind of depressed me about the whole scenario, was that I didn't do it sooner.
I would suggest that others not wait until they are my age to take financial courses that might be available to them, because I thought that because I had a college education I knew how to spend money and I knew how to be smart with my money, and it wasn't the case, because I didn't have all the tools, I didn't know all the information that I needed to know, say, to not negatively impact my credit score for 3 years.
You've got to face the fact that we're all getting older, we're not getting younger. And I know friends of mine that are younger than me that are in a lot worse shape than me. And that's inspiring to think that I can still do what I used to do 10 years ago. I'm pushing 61 in my next birthday. Yet I still feel just as healthy as I did 10 years ago.
So at Champlain, that's our goal, is to create this culture of well-being and create an environment where it's okay to do things during the day that you enjoy and that you want to participate in. It's not trying to force people that you have to go to an exercise class or you have to walk 10,000 steps. It's really up to each individual. But it's a culture that says, do something for yourself, be healthier, look after yourselves, and guess what? Our organization will benefit from a healthier individual.
You know, if I could give them any advice, it would be not to give up. It would be that even when you fail, or just to regather yourself, to re-strategize, and to come back at it with a new approach, and that's what allowed us to have success.
I feel great. I've lost 40 pounds and
Trained and ran a marathon, and it's just been a blast.
I feel wonderful. I have grandchildren that are under 10, and I'm able to run around with them.
I have been able to lose weight, again, get my cholesterol under control.
I feel more alive, a whole lot less depressed.
It really raised my self-esteem.
I went from a person who walked with their head down to someone who could look up again.
Anybody that's watching this video, good changes are the hardest ones to make. You need to step out of your comfort zone, try something different. There's benefits there for you. The company can show you the water, but they can't make you drink it. All you have to do is step forward, just take the opportunity. If you learn one valuable thing, if you can make one small change in your life, it's a win, it's a benefit. You've just accomplished something that some people may never do. It's there, just drink the water.